Exactly, spot on, Debbie. And by the way, you're underselling yourself by saying that you're just looking into it. You're leading the world in thought leadership on this. That being said, yes, you're spot on, right? This is not about denying people the convenience of smart devices and apps. These things, I love them, I use them, and they make my life better. It is about enabling the informed choice. Would you let a stranger into your home and give them unlimited access? No, you wouldn't. Why? Because you know there's intrinsic dangers to it. This is about bringing that same level of tension for this consumer around bringing these new devices, apps, etc. So the way I look at it is that it's not just devices. The attack surface of the home is comprised of four things: three devices, apps, online services that you use, as well as the people in the home. All four of these need to be addressed in order to be able to address the smart home problem. And I think the biggest thing people realize is that there's a reason why a lot of these devices are sometimes free or very cheap. The companies that are making these and providing these devices or apps or online services are able to survive is that they are monetizing something else. If it's free, you are the product. We've all heard that. We've also heard data is the new oil. And there are some arguments for and against that. But either way, the fact that your data is extremely valuable in that it informs not just how people use their products, but also enables company to monetize it as a commodity in itself, as an offering in itself, says a lot. People are suspicious about that thought. Let's just do the simple exercise. Just go look up the valuations of all the publicly traded companies on the NASDAQ and Dow that sell your data and add them up and just see how big an industry it is. It's well over hundreds of billions of dollars in the US alone. Why are people spending so much money on the data? Because it informs a lot of things. I had a friend who worked for a very major online retailer as the head of product. And one of the things he said to me, like, struck out to me very strongly, which is, he said, Vikram, if I know four things about you, there is a very high 90 plus probability that I can predict the fifth thing about you. And even if you don't know it, I know it, just based on the data that they've been able to collect on past behaviors and how they're able to predict future behaviors. It informs a lot of these systems, including online retail, apps, whatever it is. So that's exactly what I want people to be aware of, is that my intent is that hopefully, not just my company, but it's an ecosystem of players, we all work together to help build what I call a cyber hygiene muscle memory in the family. That everybody knows when there's something new in the house, it's treated as a security incident and not just as a new toy in the house. That mindset we need to bring in. And I take hope in that if you stop somebody on the street 150 years back and ask them what the heck is an oil change, they would have stared back at you blankly. But this day and age, even if you don't own a car, you know what's an oil change, you know what's an engine check light. New technologies, if there are ways of building in mechanisms where people's sense of awareness can be raised to potential dangers, people are willing to absorb it. And I think that we need to do the same thing in the smart home.